For several years, the eThekwini municipality of Durban has worked closely with the tertiary learning institutions in the area. One of the original successful relationships was a collaboration between eThekwini Water and Sanitation of the municipality and the Pollution Research Group of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Here, we will look at the history of that collaboration, the benefits and challenges of such a partnership, and how similar partnerships could be replicated elsewhere.
It started in the early 1970s when the Water Research Commission was established. We were dealing with the effluents which were going to the wastewater treatment works in Durban and how to remove the colour so that water could be recycled. And they started to undertake research into water-intensive industries. We had a number of pilot plants running at the different sewage works, and so we continued with this sort of relationship where we worked at the sewage works and always looking to how we would make our effluent suit the sewage works. Then there was this, the UKZN movement started in the 2000s, and there was this conference in Vic Falls on sanitation. And it was at that conference that Bill Pfaff from the municipality said, look, over the years, we have helped you with a whole lot of research projects, but never once have you come to us and asked us what our problems are and how we could assist the municipality. So that's when the partnership really started to begin between the municipality and the Pollution Research Group.
So from our side, EWS in its current form was created in 2000. And the big change was that a whole lot of rural people, 1 million rural people, were added into the metropolitan area, and none of them had access to what we today call proper sanitation. The cost was enormous, something like $5 billion to provide waterborne sanitation to everybody, the 250,000 families that didn't have access. Whereas to provide EcoSan, what Chris is talking about, has cost something less than $250 million. We'd been trying to get the Water Research Commission to do applied research into the kinds of problems that we were facing. What can we do with fecal sludges? Can they be used on crops? What happens inside toilets? The DWATS thing was around, that technology. Nobody knew how it worked, and so on. So from that discussion, I then started talking to Chris about can we form some kind of research partnership. We had a lot of things needed research. He had students that were looking for relevant topics, so it was kind of a marriage made in heaven, I would guess.
The real strength of the partnership is actually the access to communities, the access to the facilities, and actually to the effluent. We're dealing with real people and real people's problems, and you can't just write down and say that there's a problem and walk away from it. We're engineers, we want to see solutions, we want to see things better.
It was the right product at the right time because the city and the university had just signed an MOU about collaboration and research, and here was an ideal opportunity to actually give effect to that intention.
We as a municipality, and in the new political dispensation, with the changes in the boundaries, we had to look at innovative solutions in providing services for this largely unserviced rural area. And it required a lot of new innovations. We didn't have the research capacity in-house, and we looked at institutions that could provide that. and have the necessary skill and capacity to do that. And having understood the research that the university was conducting, it made sense for them to enter into a formal agreement with the university itself. The role of EWS is really to look at what is the research needs and then prioritize that. And once we've determined that, we would then support the research through looking at the internal expertise that will be required, provide the necessary facilities where the research will be conducted, and also facilitate the necessary community engagement. PRG, on the other hand, would recruit and supervise the students for the specific research areas. They would also provide the laboratory for the various experimentation, and a lot of our work is just not on technical aspect, it's social aspects as well. So through this collaboration, we have access to the multidisciplinary research team within the university.
So it's chemists, it's microbiologists, it's geneticists, it's that freedom to mix and match and bring teams together to which are problem orientated as opposed to project orientated.
And it started some trends in the world, this whole idea of the water effluent energy nexus and things like that. We've been talking about that for years before it became a big buzz thing. And this whole concept of seeing fecal sludge as a resource and not as a waste, and looking at ways to process it and looking at ways to deal with it safely and dispose of it or not dispose of it, turn it into a reusable resource. All those things started here, and that's why I think there's such an interest in what the PRG does.
With this collaboration, we are able to look at a fail-fast approach. And that is, if something got an 80% chance of succeeding, we'll go out on a pilot scale. The research component will advise us in terms of where the challenges, bottlenecks. We then go in and rectify it, get the project running, both in all aspects, social and technical, and then roll out at scale.
Nothing's happy ever, always. There are always issues. I mean, trying to find students to meet our sometimes unrealistic time expectations. And there are people within the organization sometimes that don't see the benefits of research.
We're both bureaucratic institutions, and procurement challenges that we both face lead to delays.
Municipalities have a different rhythm as to how projects take place as compared to external funding organizations. They all have their own agendas on their particular funding cycles, and the universities, in a way, fits into those cycles.
And the politics. I mean, when something new is coming out, politicians want to try and use it for their advantage, and so they get in the way sometimes.
We're dealing with communities, and there's no set precondition. Community behavior or other aspect that may impact on the social, on the community, may then reflect on our research project. So all of these are kind of things that you prepare for, but you've got to deal with them as and when the situation arises.
Chris and I have had some serious discussions at the times about the university's procurement processes, and he equally has had problems with us in processing the payments and things like that.
The advantages far outweigh the challenges that we have along the way.
I think in developing countries we see a number of relationships between utilities and other groups. Perhaps not as many as with academic institutions such as UKZN. What makes the UKZN relationship with EWS so special is that the intimacy of that interaction is very unique, allowing a much greater application of testing and subjects and understanding of the sanitation system than you would get traditionally with any other type of relationship.
The There's a tremendous benefit to the types of collaboration and alliances that are being formed now between utilities and municipalities on one hand and academic institutions on the other. They provide very complementary skill sets. The municipalities and utilities have the type of community engagement and service models that are essential to helping to improve sanitation, whereas universities can provide expertise in science, social science, engineering that allow for innovation and improvements in a way that a utility and municipality may not be able to do over their normal course of business.
We would like to assist other universities in having a partnership with their local city, because after all, their graduates would then move into the local municipality, and it grows from there.
The PRG is producing postgraduate students with degrees. Some of them don't come from South Africa. So they're going back with this understanding of how PRG works. And it's not there are no lecturers in PRG, they're all researchers, which is very different. And those students become employed. Some have been employed by the city, in fact. So they come from the city and go back to the city or go back to their home country. So I think there's kind of ambassadors going out there.
We certainly don't want to be research partners for many municipalities. The strength that we have is that we are based in Durban, we understand Durban, people live in Durban, this is the city where we are, this is the place where we are. And to go to other places and to try and have a relationship with the municipality there is going to be very difficult, because the local nuances you don't understand.
I don't think there are many PRGs around in the world. And a lot of municipalities are not very keen on being the guinea pig and trying new ideas. So I think those two sides of things, finding municipalities that are interested in doing research and see the value of it, and finding a competent research authority where you can manage the research agenda, that would need to be in place before you could replicate it.
As we've seen, the success of the projects that have taken place in Durban have been as a result of a strong partnership between the municipality and the university, and that partnership has been built on open communication and trust and a shared common vision. So if you were to try and replicate this elsewhere, you would want to ensure, first of all, that you have a municipality that is open to innovation and a competent research authority who understands the complexities of the local context. So it needs to be someone who is in the same location. Once you have those two parties, you need to find some small projects that you can start with as a foundation and identify what are the research questions and put in place a formal memorandum of agreement of how these two organisations are going to work together. Once you've got that, you can put together a work structure of how that project is going to progress and use those initial projects as a basis for growing towards larger things. Here we have seen the value of a successful partnership between a municipality and their local university to improve innovative service delivery and sanitation. Building these kind of partnerships takes time. They are built on open communication and trust and require strong leadership with a common vision. Although they take time, there are distinct benefits to both the university and the municipality, because good science makes good policy.